Right now, I want to go into the two biggest lies, or three, honestly, I'm not even sure yet, that you've been told in dating as a man. First things first, I'm not going to waste any time. Number one of the first things is that if you just get your life together and be confident, the women will come to you. Now, here's the thing. This is great advice. If you already have an awesome personality and you work in a place where maybe there's women around, but truthfully speaking, all right, let's think about this for a second. Now, you can get, now, to be fair, you go to the gym, you get your finances together, you get your general social skills up, you know what I mean? You improve generally. That all of that is gonna play into getting women. But at the end of the day, in life, when you want something, you got to go and fucking get it. That's just the reality. When I first got into the idea of getting good with girls, I was just into the idea of getting good with girls. But a lot of times you hear from other dudes like, you don't really gotta do all that. You don't really gotta read all that. You just gotta be confident and, go to the gym and go to this and that. And then next thing you know, I see that same dude getting dumped or getting played by his girlfriend, or just not having the same amount of bitches that I have, or just the same quality or just beauty in general. And here's what I think all of that comes down to. It's because in life, we are taught that love is this enigmatic emotional thing that the moment you apply any kind of logic or any kind of strategy or any kind of male nature to it, in terms of logic and left brain shit, now that actually essentially takes out the love. You know what I mean? By being logical, you take out the love. But the only reason you think that way is because you've been taught that love is this purely emotional thing. Like everything else in life, whether it be business, whether it be history, whether it be just whatever. It could be basketball, it could be a sport, something you want to improve in. There's always going to be a set kind of thing or just set little fundamental principles that you learn from or just strategies. Yeah, when it comes to this, it's like the moment you include words like strategy, it's kind of like, oh, you're taking the magic away from the magic of love. I got one problem with that. This is bullshit primarily because this only applies to women. Women can sit there and enjoy the enigmatic, sporadic, spontaneous nature of love where some pretty cute guy goes up to them and sweeps them off their feet. But guess what? We don't have that privilege as a man. Our beauty, our magical, spontaneous, enigmatic moment comes from the direct, logical action that you take in making and manifesting your reality and your destiny, whether that be in life or whether that be with women. The moment you're told, especially from another man, that, oh no, you should just go about life like la la la, and the right girl will just fall on your fucking lap. That's what bitches tell other bitches. You're not a woman, okay? So don't take this logic so seriously, because every couple weeks, for example, say like in a forum where dudes are just learning how to get better with women, every couple days or every couple weeks, there's always gonna inevitably be a thread where someone's like, you know what? I discovered today after making out with my first chick that you don't need all this advice. You don't need all these strategies, because all you have to do is get your life together and be confident. Why? Because you made out with one drunk bitch at a party and now you just discovered everything else is useless. That's the only shit I hate, because I read a lot of deep shit, and some of it I was like, this is too technical. But a lot of it, it wasn't even just a technical strategy. It just opened up my mind to what's really possible. If I simply played it safe, and the moment I got a little success, I was like, all right, I'm good, I wouldn't have gotten to the point I gotten to. I wouldn't have girls with my name tattooed. Not to say that that's the goal for everyone or whatever the case is, but the point is that when it comes to love and when it comes to dating, if you just simply look at it like, okay, this is the exception to everything. Everything else in life requires strategy, but when it comes to this one thing, I'm just gonna be a fucking moron. I'm just gonna be an emotional little bitch and just follow my filios, and hopefully that leads me down a rainbow path. And then when you're 40-something plus and you're divorced and you're clueless and you didn't see it coming, you're gonna wish that maybe you spent a little extra time just kind of studying things and not just going about things like la la la, because at the end of the day, you're la la la. You're not a girl. Your la 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 is your la la logic and how you plan shit, and that's just what it comes down to. That's just a big thing for me, because I just hate how dudes will come, they'll benefit from all the reading or all the strategies. As soon as they have a little bit of success, they're like willing to throw it all out the window because you finally got a bitch. It's like, come on, dude, relax. Just take it easy for a second. Number two, just tell her how you feel. I mean, I'm not even gonna spend a lot of time on this. This is just a classic. This is something that's more so said in movies, cartoons. It's just a natural kind of thing. You like a girl, just tell her how you feel. Except we all know it doesn't really go all that well. Most of the time, when a dude tells a girl how he feels, he essentially gives her all the validation without even letting her enjoy the challenge. You gotta think of it like this. Women enjoy the chase too. They just aren't very direct with it. But if you give them the opportunity to build up and invest and direct and be and show that willingness to chase, they actually enjoy that shit. Everything in life, without the journey, is really the prize at the end of the day. You might see the prize and think that's the prize, but a lot of times it's the journey that's really fun. And if you don't allow girls to experience that journey, they're just gonna be like, all right, well, he just threw all his, let me put it like this, let me give you a good story. It's one of the first times I realized, okay, the dualistic nature of women was in middle school. It was during fucking Valentine's Day. Right before high school, the year before high school, a friend of mine, a buddy of mine, he liked this girl, and rumors were going around that she liked him too. And it was pretty obvious that I think she did. All of a sudden, Valentine's Day comes up, and this kid shows up to all the, all the rejections of me. He shows up to class with a bag, a goodie bag, a Valentine's bag. It has a bunch of shit and it has a bunch of balloons coming out of it. So the moment he walks into class, the moment he walks into school, everyone's like, oh, everyone's making a big deal out of it. In that Valentine's bag, he had a letter. It was basically a love letter. It was basically a letter professing that he likes this girl in a not so, let's say, badass kind of way. This girl, who originally liked him, she reads the letter, and by the end of the day, guess what? That's right, she rejected him. She no longer liked him. Magically now, as soon as he let all his cards on the table, suddenly all the tension was gone, and she was like, this is too much pressure. I don't like him like that. Now, all of a sudden, this kid was, I'm gonna be honest, a lot of kids were like, yo, don't worry about it. We was kind of cheering him up a bit because we were kind of like, damn, it's kind of harsh, but you could just see it in his face. The motherfucker was crushed. His little middle school heart was crushed. And that to me was just another confirmation of not taking everything and just throwing it all on the table and giving her the opportunity, to just enjoy the chase ultimately. And as an extension of the first point, I also want to say, the quote of just basically be yourself and women will come into your life. I know that's basically what I said in the first one, but it all just ties together because at the end of the day, when you look at shit in a way where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna go about life. I'm never gonna take a strategic kind of mode because that's unnatural. That's not what people do when it comes to this. When it comes to this topic of dating, it's something that you should just be blind to because that's what keeps the purity about the emotions, because it's like everything in life you're taught to look at it like, say, basketball or any kind of sport. There's like the mental, emotional side. You got to be determined. You got to be willing to correct your mistakes. You got to be willing. And then there's also the analytical side. You got to do this. You got to do this. Technical shit. Everything has that yin and yang. But suddenly when it comes to this, you just want to abandon it. You just want to abandon that yin and yang and simply totally rely on your emotional side. And to me, that is a problem, not just with men, but even with women as well. Because I think of it like this. A woman, she's feminine, so she wants a man who's very masculine, but all of us have that dualistic nature in us. She also wants, for example, it's impressive for a dude to be super logical, super masculine, super confident, but yet be very socially empathetic, be very socially aware. That's something that is a lot more of a gem. That's why women cherish it when you're really good at speaking and communicating and you show your intellectual, logical side. Most dudes, if you look at the intellectual, logical motherfuckers, they're awkward, they're stiff, they have a very fragile ego. You see it in social situations. They think they're more clever and cunning than they are when really they just come across like a little dry, sarcastic nerd. It's not fucking cute, it's not charming, and you ultimately end up fucking just making everyone not want to be around you. But when you can be that dude who's smart, but at the same time you're super empathetic, you show those two sides of masculine, feminine, of logic and emotion. And when I look for women, just for yourself as a man, you should look for a woman who's not just feminine emotional, but who can pray, who can toe the line between feminine emotional and have that logic. Because at the end of the day, like if you were to have a son, if you were to have a kid, a daughter, you want to have a wife who is strong, but at the same time, who is feminine, obviously, but at the same time, who's strong. You know what I mean? Just like a woman wants a guy who's strong, but at the same time, he can express himself. He isn't just this stiff fucking robot. That's what it comes down to, too. Like, I don't just want a girl who's super emotional. Because I'm a girl, I'm emotional. No, sometimes you need to be tough a little bit, because otherwise she's just gonna let everyone push her around and she's just gonna be a follower bitch. And this is just something as it's for you when it comes to weeding out women, because it's not just about what you're doing wrong or what you need to fix or what guys need to fix, but ultimately, man, if we raise our standards in general, that not only increases your ability to be good with women, but also increases their ability to step their fucking game up. And that's ultimately what this is all about. Not just you as a man, not just her as a woman, but society itself, men, women, restoring the balance once again as it really should be. So we don't have all these crazy bitches out here divorcing motherfuckers for half this shit. Yeah. And if it's your first time to this channel, I just want to say thank you for watching. We have videos on seduction and self-improvement as a man. So with that being said, bro, I will see you in the next episode. Mañana.